Ladies and gentlemen, all together in the chat now. Ichi Nissan da. Time for AEW news. So Keith Lee states that a return to the ring will certainly happen. Now I'm glad to hear that. I think the peak of his hype kind of passed and shit. Tony Khan won't use him correctly or know how to book him correctly. I would love to see him back in WWE. I think we saw a glimpse of him, or did we? I don't think we saw him or Joe, actually. Trying to remember here. Either way, doesn't matter. Shout out Keith Lee, though. I'm a big fan, but I just think AEW did such a disservice to him. And then obviously injuries, which aren't AEW's fault, but talking about the booking and creativity wise. Andrade has responded to MJF's message. So I didn't bookmark all these. I think I started to. There may be a few in here, but basically they are going back and forth. And Andrade's like, thank you, WWE, And then he's like, calling out MJF, or MJF called him out and is like, hey, Andrade, I'm going to be in Mexico beating the ever-loving God of Mystico in front of all your broke-ass countrymen. Let me know if you want to grab a marg before I hop on my jet. Andrade's like, cabron, and then he's like, hair versus mask or whatever. And then MJF's like, LOL, no, like, I don't know. They're just talking. Sammy Guevara got invoked. He's like, I like Sammy Guevara and you, whatever, because Andrade like slapped Sammy, or maybe that was Eddie Kingston. I don't know, but everyone's like, Andrade, go back to AEW. No, absolutely not, man. I don't think they want him back there. But MJF, of course, is gonna try and like get this match with this WWE guy off rip, and he's gonna be in CMLL. And I don't know if Andrade. Can I tell you guys? I know some for sure. I know that all the AAA stuff they said about him not wanting to do AAA stuff is, and I know, here we go, dirt sheet Phil here, or not. Maybe I'm just lying right now and making it all up. And I know that he did off and was ghosting them. That is 100% true. And it just is, it is what it is. And WWE were kind of like, what the and Ray Phoenix did kind of get there. Yeah, he went to Colombia, I believe, and took off for a while and did his thing. And so, yeah, shout out Andrade, though. I'm a fan. I've always been a fan of the guy. I know people are like, what can he do? I don't want to hear about the NXT. And true that, but I agree. You can't just like off on the company. He's been disgruntled in WWE and AEW. It just kind of seems like, maybe you're the fucking underlying problem when it comes to like how you want to be presented and pushed in pro wrestling. It just might not be the vision that anyone has for you. Although in AEW, he for surely should have got pushed harder. Like for surely, man, you have an international title. Like, you know, you have all these luchas and guys from Europe and all this, and you're not using any of them. It's ridiculous. But either way, I digress. Hopefully we see MJF and Andrade mix it up. I mean, that'd be a cool match. Get people interested in MJF more. Dax Harwood claims he will retire if he loses to Cope and Christian at All Out. So Dax says Severance and everyone in it should have walked away with all the Emmys. And then this guy says, Dax, what's the plan if you lose against CNC? And then Dax says, I'll retire from being an in-ring competitor. So is that a spoiler, or does he just go back on his word because he's a heel now, which is what heels can do? People will blow this out of proportion. Absolutely. I don't know if people want to pull plans change in all this, but yeah. Dax laying it all on the line. So we talked about WBD. They're going to be more transparent with the ratings. Speaking of, networks and pay-per-views and all of this stuff, All Out Toronto is this weekend. We'll preview it here shortly. We don't even know all the matches. Tony Khan's adding an bonus hour onto this show tonight. It's crazy. But you can watch All Out on HBO Max in the United States, Prime Video in the United States, and select international markets, YouTube in North America International, payperview.com North America International, cable and satellite North America, Triller Pay-Per-View International, Main Event Australia, Dave & Buster's nationwide United States. So there you go. There's free promotion there. I'm not going to knock anything. I don't see a negative. Maybe being spread too thin or like you've been on Max forever, and then you're telling everyone to go to Prime and all this other shit, and then you go to, and then you're like, just now buy it on Max. Like, I mean, that's confusing and shit for your audience, and maybe that's a negative, but there you go. Free plugs. Eddie Kingston's return to AEW. This is the dumbest shit I've ever read. So Fightful reports Eddie Kingston's return to AEW is not a surprise to promote the event and generate buzz for All Out. So then what was it for? So then what's the point of bringing this guy back on your fucking television show? Oh, they brought Eddie back. Oh, yeah? And what were you hoping for? Well, for people to be surprised, of course. For people to be excited. Maybe they'll tune into All Out. Maybe Eddie's got a match. So Fightful's going, yo, his return was not meant to be a surprise or to promote the event and generate buzz for All Out. Was not a surprise to promote the event and generate buzz for All Out. Then what was it? Did someone from AEW tell them this? Then what's the point of it? Then why'd they do it? Did someone from AEW tell them this? If they did, that's insane. Fire that person. Fire who booked it then. Oh, no, we just brought him back because, like, just because he's cool and he's my friend. Like, what? Then why would you bring a wrestler back? Like, what? So the shit on the show is supposed to get me hyped to see the pay-per-view, to want to buy the pay-per-view, and they brought him back to not get me hyped to see for me to go, fuck this show and turn it off? What?
You what?
So speaking of MJF, it's been announced that CMLL's 92nd Anniversario, headlined by MJF versus Mystico in the title versus mask match, will be available on pay-per-view through Triller TV. So AEW's not on Triller, but CMLL is. So yeah, hopefully people tune in and buy it. I don't know, maybe Andrade shows up. Ace Austin, former TNA superstar, says signing with AEW was a no-brainer. He says the way the whole thing actually kind of fell into place was pretty crazy, but considering AEW was an option, it's a top option, right? A no-brainer. Yeah, I mean, he's making a lot of money. I just think it's time for him to go to NXT I was saying get Ace and Bay to NXT a long time ago. Tony obviously offered him just lighter schedule and like lots of money. And I just hope he's not stupid about it. And here's the thing, man, like people got to understand too, Tony Khan is cheap. Okay. He is cheap. So lots of money, as in like you do get a good chunk of change up front. And especially when you get this is all elite graphic. When you get that, you're on 6-figure salary, 100K plus or more. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, would NXT give him 100K? He'd for surely be in NXT. Would they give him 100K to be there? I don't know. But then he gets the access and the marketing machine and the good booking and all that. So I could see him negotiating Tony Khan, 150K and whatever the fuck. I don't know. But good for him. And yeah, I hope I hope he thrives, and I just hope he doesn't do anything stupid while he's there, and he doesn't really get any on him. And I hope it was like a 3-year deal, and then he just goes to NXT still, or maybe he's main roster ready by that time. Who knows? It seems like it doesn't really matter how old you are. They're just like, go to NXT first when you come to WWE from AEW. So moving along, Nigel McGuinness and his partner Kaori are expecting a child together. Congrats to them. Fucking huge news. Amazing stuff. Round of applause for them. What a blessing. So Mercedes Monea Reflexa on 10 years since NXT of Brooklyn expresses gratitude to wrestling a soulmate Bailey. This anniversary isn't just a celebration of a match. It's a celebration of a pivotal moment that forever changed the landscape of women's wrestling. Happy 10th anniversary to the match that altered the course of my life and the trajectory of women's wrestling. I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude to my wrestling soulmate, Bailey. Thank you for being my partner in this journey, both in and out of the ring. The bond we shared is unlike any other, and I can imagine navigating this incredible business without you. You have challenged me, inspired me, and most importantly, stood by me. Together, we changed the game. So that's courtesy of the Mone Omega. And shout out all of the NXT retro nostalgia vibes that we've gotten over the last couple days here. So AEW Collision, speaking of not great, AEW Collision drew its third lowest audience in show history for last Saturday's episode. Collision averaged 235K viewers, down 22% from the prior week, with a 0.05 in the key demo, down 30% from the prior week. Ooh, stinky, dude. Oh my God, this show's going away. This show is going away, dude. Fuck, man. This was my favorite wrestling show. When Collision dropped and it was like Punk and Joe and FTR, it was like, bro. And they started doing something different. Like they would have some of the wrestlers would talk, like the ones who were in the main event would talk some shit. Then it'd kick into the Elton John. And then it was actually booked like a fucking show. God damn it, man. Now look at this, is just worse than Rampage. You guys remember Rampage? Oh, shit, man. God damn it. What the fuck, Tony? What did you do? Year over year, Collision was down 12%, with the 18 to 49 being down 38%. Oh, I hate even talking about the fucking ratings anymore, but like, god damn it, man. What happened? So Andrade's latest tweet, Mexico mask versus hair, MJF's a pussy. Ricochet suggests, we'll circle back to that. We got some Ricochet stuff. So Toni Schiavone responds to critics saying AEW might have struggled to book a strong card for All Out due to the absences of Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega, and Swerve Strickland. No, that's not why. It's because of the fucking booking of the best guy.
Best guy is Tony Khan.
And Schiavone said, so the critics are saying that we weren't going to have a good card. Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we get one of those critics on here and have them book a card for us? Hey, Schiavone, yeah, DM me and give me 3 months of television like Tony Khan had. When was their last pay-per-view even? 2 months even? Give me that. Give me fucking 2 shows a week, 8 weeks, and I'll fucking book a better card, bro. Like, what are you talking about? You don't have to say shit like this and embarrass yourself. Why don't we get one of those critics on here to see them book a card for us? See how they come up with one. I'm all for that. Find them, bring them on, have them book a card. Bro, anyone can book a card, though. This is why what Schiavone's saying is redacted. Anyone can just like, oh, here's some matches. Okay, are we talking about with good stories built up to it and shit? Yeah, dude. Yeah, give me 3 months. And the same resources. Make it where make this situation happen. Me telling Tony Khan what to do, and he just pretends it's him doing it, and see if it's not light years better. And he has no say. And that might be arrogant to say, but I feel like a fucking sophomore in high school who's like a diehard wrestling fan could do a better job. So hey, what am I saying? And as we have them book a card, have them go fuck themselves too. How's that sound? I don't know, man. It sounds like fake. I need to hear. Does someone have the clip of this? Tag me in it on X at Pro Wrestle Times. Give me a follow and tag me in it. Yeah, let's hear the tone of his voice, because this sounds like faux outrage. Yeah, let's get them to book a card, and then they can fuck themselves, because that's Sting. And you can go... Screw! He's got one good call in the history of his fucking... No, that's rude. So yeah, MJF responds to Andrade and says, LOL, no, get over without burning another bridge. Then we can discuss us having a match at all, pussy. And he's like, burn a bridge. See, here's the problem too, is that with MJF a little bit, is that like him and Andrade are probably cool. Like I wouldn't put it past that they've texted each other, or maybe even if they haven't, they just understand that they're working. Right. But the thing with MJF is he just does like the low blow shit. And I get that's his character, but it's like you can be more intelligent than like as soon as someone goes pussy, it's like a problem. MJF's got to like go for the low blow, like the jugular. And it's like, come on, man, you can be more clever than that is the thing, right? So MJF is like, I love Sammy. No, I don't, but I'm not him. Fucking try me. I'll boot you off the face of this earth faster than Charlotte booted you out of your house, amigo. And like, here's the thing. I know MJF's doing his Andrade's a businessman too, so he's not gonna fuck around and like, well, I don't know. He might, bro. Like, that's the thing. He might actually try and fight you, MJF. But you got to think that they know each other, right? Otherwise, I just don't think they'd go this hard. Because even MJF like backed down from Bully Ray, and we seen on the last show we covered it. Like Bully Ray was being critical. MJF put out this tweet that was clearly directed at Bully, and then all of a sudden he's like, "This isn't about Bully, by the way." And it's like, well, then who is it about? So I think there's a mutual there, maybe aggregating this shit. Do not aggregate. Fucking cringe lords. Speaking of cringe lords, we'll circle back to that. So there's been discussion in adding new younger members to Hurt Syndicate. That's cool. Would have been cool if it was Cedric, but is what it is. Timeless Toni Storm shares her thoughts on Mariah May and Blake Monroe in WWE. She was on Ariel Helwani's MMA show. Now, I'm going to shit on Ariel Helwani a little bit here. No offense to him, but his whole like uncrowned thing, I think, didn't pan out the way he thought it would. And I think if I was AEW, I'd be like trying to offer this guy a fucking job or something. And I'm not joking. I think we'll see him jump on to the TKO wagon or something officially. His MMA interviews and shit, the boys in the back, like his MMA interviews, like people tune into those. People tune into his boxing stuff, and he does, I don't know, he breaks news. A lot of people think he's kind of weaselly and he sort of dictates a lot of narratives that blow up people's spots and shit like that. Dana White recently said he'd be open to having Ariel Helwani back, but Ariel's like really jumping on the fucking pro wrestling train. But people are pointing out like Ricochet's interview on Helwani gets 6K views in a day. 6K views in a day, man. And I'm not shitting on Helwani or anything, but like, bro, that's a problem. That shows you how little people care about AEW. That shows you that Ricochet doing this whole, I'm working a shoot. I'm just working by being a complete and utter fucking cringe lord thicko. I'm just working heel, man, or whatever excuse he wants to try and come up with. Because when Disco went up to him at that fucking indie show, he's like, it's all good, man. We're just working. And then he goes on X and spurgs out like these fucking sickos are stupid, man. Or these wackos or whatever. These WWE fans are fucking stupid, man, whatever. And then you do an interview on Ariel Helwani, gets 6K views, bro. Like, it just shows that that's not really working the way you think. That, like I called it, yes, you get all the sickos jumping on your ship and being like, fucking, yeah, man, this guy rules. But like, okay, it's just internet sickos and bot accounts, bro, that you're appealing to. I promise. Like, the shit isn't actually outside of that. Who's tuning into your interview? We're seeing people on Chris Van Vliet's channel outdraw Will Ospreay interviews in one day, 8 months after his interview came out. Like, that's a fucking problem, man. That's a real problem. And people say like, it's internet marks. It's like, their fans are internet guys, and you'd think they'd cater to that. Their fucking most diehard fans are Twitter sickos and people who illegally stream the shit. I fucking promise you. Because you don't see the fucking social media impressions anywhere else. You don't see it anywhere else. And even on YouTube, a lot of people, man, if you look online, there's some of these Facebook groups, there's some of these Reddit groups who are like WWE groups. And sometimes they'll bring up AEW and they don't even go like, fuck that company, it's trash. There's some YouTubers who make like kid-friendly content where they go toy hunting, and even they shit on AEW, dude. And they're like, these are trash, whatever. And they don't like go out of their way to be unkind, but their communities, man, if you look around, okay, like people who make wrestling like other communities, a lot of WWE fans will say, yeah, I'll check out AEW. Like, I'll look on their YouTube if there's any clips. Like, if there's anything I go, like, I was an Ambrose fan. What did Moxley do here? And I'll watch it on YouTube. That seems to be, now again, this is anecdotal, me just saying like what I've seen or whatever, but out there, but I don't know. I would say it's kind of consistent throughout. Like there are a lot of WWE fans as well. And we know that WWE fans turn out on YouTube and everything. And they will even go check out AEW on YouTube and stuff like that. But they're not going to go out of their way to like buy a pay-per-view and shit like that, So the greater point I'm getting at, and this started by me kind of shitting on Ariel, is just like Ariel's thing isn't reaching as wide as he thought it would, first and foremost, him being like independent and all this shit. I just think that there's other people covering MMA, like MMA Guru's like funny, it's... PWT is like the MMA guru of fucking pro wrestling in a way. We're just like fucking do hacky impressions and, try to make jokes at everything. And like he'll get more views than Ariel and shit. And it's just this new wave, man. It's just the way people consume content now. It's different. And just because you're like, oh, I have access to all the AEW people or WWE people and shit, it doesn't really make that big a difference. And that showed. And it also, like, Tony Khan giving these people like their TV shows, like there's 500,000 watching on Max because everyone's on streaming now. Then where's 100,000 of those people to watch Fingershay's interview on fucking Helwani then? You know what I'm saying? Like, how much are you paying that guy? And he's actively running away like old fans who might have went and fucked with him because he's all butthurt, literally and figuratively, over his own actions and how WWE booked him and whatever the fuck. And he just milked Tony Khan out of money. How does Dave Meltzer look at 6K views on a rig? He doesn't even talk about that shit. But then he tries to tell us there's 500,000 watching on Max. Where's 50,000 people to tune into Ricochet shit? How is he making a difference in your company? I roast Meltzer and can get 5K fucking views. Like, come on, man. It's just something's got to be changed. I fear it's too late. But anyways, we took a long way of getting to Toni Storm putting over Mariah May / Blake Monroe in only the way that she can. And she's brilliant, by the way. I think Toni Storm is worth whatever they're paying her because I bet she's the reason, like, there's 100,000 people still holding on to this fucking show, holding on for Toni Storm,
Sure. What about keeping tabs on people? You had this
That's a gross exaggeration, by the way. I know I'm just being silly here.
Famous feud with Mariah, right? Now she's over there.
Yes. Well, we've all had relationships like Mariah, haven't we? That end in broken glass, fist fights, bloody kisses. What can I say about Mariah? God, we're just she's the single most evil, cold-hearted bitch I've ever met in my life. I can honestly say that. And I'm glad that I've banished her. I really did compromise her to a permanent end. But I'm a big fan of that Blake Monroe.
Okay. Do you keep tabs on what she's doing?
I've seen a bit, but I don't like study it religiously.
Okay.
So,
like, Ariel's MMA fans don't want to see this at all, but he's sliding. So is TMZ. Everyone's getting in the space, but ain't no motherfuckers talk to you for 5 hours the way Phil Marks do. No, but for real. Okay. So we talked about Ricochet, right? And he was on Ariel Helwani as well. One quote he said is that he suggests that families unable to afford WWE tickets can try attending an AEW show. And what? Watch Moxley get butt fucked with a spiked fucking strap on next week? Like, what's the next thing they do? And what? Watch Hangman hang a guy with a chain after he stabs him with a fucking scissors in Minecraft. And there's, like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is like the delusion. Hey, yeah, families, come see the Rizzler and this guy get a fucking needle stuck through his cheek and then slammed on a brick. And this old Japanese guy fucking throw Michael Oku on his neck. And what are you talking about, man? It's just crazy. You're literally a guy whose t-shirt and logo on Twitter is like you being all psycho with blood. Oh, well, there was Kane. Well, what about Cactus Jack? Yeah, it was few and far between. You in Minecraft Minecraft Dynamite are shanking people with fucking scissors. Moxley's getting shanked. There's in Minecraft, there's plastic bags over faces, body bags, kidnappings, tie-ups, people tied up, baby invasions, pizza cutters. Like, come on, man. It's just, you have a bunch of people going in this is what it is, man. You have Tony Khan, who's like stoned and waking up at noon and fucking staring into a notebook all day, not even looking behind him. And he's trying to herd a bunch of like the finest cattle in the world. And yes, I say that, fine athletes who are, or like not even that, but just like some of the finest cattle and some of the shittiest cattle or sheep in the world. And he's just got his back turned to them and they're all just going in different directions. Is that a bad analogy? That was a redacted analogy, okay? I don't know, but you guys get what I'm saying. Like, everyone's going in different directions. There's no clear road. There's no like, hey, everybody stick to this path and we'll find the promised land. There's none of that. It's just people saying dumb shit and sickos suggesting dumb shit, which we're going to get into. And so here's what Ricochet had to say on Ariel Helwani, and just listen to his lack of confidence while saying this shit. I mean, I don't even know if he believes the shit he's saying, and he's just using these buzzwords like bad faith. And just listen to this shit. Listen to this shit right here.
Every company's goal is to make the most money possible. That's the goal of every company. That's why
AEW hasn't made $1.
make a company. So it's like you can't argue against that. But it's like
so you can't argue that, but it's like when I'm getting $500,000 or $750,000 a year and can work whatever day I want, and this fucking guy's giving it to me, and he gives me my Mark Fantasy where I get to fucking headline a Tokyo show that nobody shows up to because New Japan's dying because of us. You can't argue that they want to make money, but, when I can mark this money marking for $750,000 fucking dollars a year, it's great, man.
You fucking mark!
You guys just are bad faith. You're just bad faith hating. It's not me, it's you, bro. You guys are just bad faith haters.
we feel, it's
you
like,
feel, motherfucker. Who's we, right? The rest of the locker room ain't we, bro. They're all fucking, they're sitting here going, yo, don't speak for me, dude.
things are being done in bad faith. That's when, I feel it's like, okay, then let's get a little crazy. Like,
I feel, but what's real, dude? When we feel it's in bad faith, okay, but it's not in bad faith. I don't hate AEW. I got a wake-up call. I got a fucking, I don't know, dude, just like a splash of cold water in the face the last few days of me just realizing, like, oh, they might be fucked, which we're about to get into, trust me. Okay, we're getting there, chat, but I think I've batted harder for AEW than a lot of people, and I try still. I'm like, well, this was good, and I just make myself look stupid fucking doing it. And if I drew a line in the sand and went, fuck AEW or fuck the Fed, I could probably get more fucking Twitter followers that way, but still haven't done it. And they need a facelift, seriously. And this guy's sitting here talking about, you can't argue they're trying to make money, but, I'm making $1 million and I think this is in bad faith. So let me just like fucking call WWE fans stupid and scum of the earth and fucking spurg out every other day and talk all this shit and run off any fans that I may have brought over from WWE. Because you don't actually care about AEW. You just care about your fucking bank account looking swell. And good on ya. I don't even hate Ricochet realistically. I think, like, honestly, he is one of the better things on their show. Like, if he was doing the same shit minus the scissor stabbing in NXT or on SmackDown, and he had like 2 buff guys behind him and he was just talking shit and wrestling the style he's wrestling and shit. I mean, when he wrestled Benjamin, you saw like a WWE psychology style match. Ricochet's just happier because he gets to, like, he just knows Tony's a fan of him, and the Bucks and Ospreay are going, bruv, he's a fan of you. He's going to give you a fuckload of money when you go there. That's all this is. But instead of saying that, I don't expect him to say that, but don't start calling me bad faith and gaslighting the fucking IWC Ricochet that's bad faith right there. I don't even like that term, but that's like gaslighting, bro. Don't do that. You're just projecting, bro.
Because it is not, it's, and whether they can say whether they're doing it for this reason or that reason, they can say whatever they need to feel. How most people see it, how most people view it is one way. So why not just say, yo, that's what's up, what y'all doing? We know what y'all doing. But again, they can do.
Most people see what one way? He didn't even specify. Is he saying that most people in AEW view it like they're like the fans are acting or the people in the IWC are acting in bad faith? Is that what he's implying? So I'm going to go and tell them you guys are wrong. None of that makes fucking sense. Okay.
Stupid idiot.
And you didn't even explain why anyone's wrong. You're just like, I'm just going to go tell you guys you're fucking dumb and WWE fans are stupid. And if it happened in WWE,
that they got their backers, they got their stuff. But at the end of the day, I think AEW is in a great spot. I think
it is not, bro. It's not. It might not be on TV much longer. And you're like, it's in a great spot. My money's guaranteed through the Khan family until the end of whenever my deal. I got that Goldberg contract, so who gives a shit? You know?
AEW is focused on us. I think
you're focused on you, bro. This is straight gaslighting. Yo, this is straight gaslighting, man. I can't. I'm getting triggered, bro. You guys moved your fucking show because you're not focused on you. And all your sicko fans, not sycophants, those, but sicko fans as well are going, fucking do a show when they're in Saudi, bro. You're so hyper-focused on WWE. In fact, no one gives a shit about AEW unless you guys get asked about WWE shit. You guys run away from pods that get numbers like mine or others, and you call us bad faith and all this shit, and then you go to channels, and I mean, good to them. No hate on anybody, but like channels with like, you know, maybe 500 subs, or they get like a fucking couple hundred views. Will Ospreay's doing interviews with people and getting a couple hundred views and shit on these pods, and all they do is ask you softball shit. And all they do is use you motherfuckers to get clips of you talking about WWE, because that's the only thing that anybody's interested is when you guys talk about WWE. You don't see it. You don't fucking see it. You know? And I get it. You don't care. I wouldn't care either. I wouldn't care either if I was getting that money. But it's just like, God damn it. I'm not bad faith for calling the bullshit out, okay?
Now more than ever, I think they're trying to figure out.
I do take this personally because he's just saying they and shit. Oh, it's they, the black, you know, they're coming, the pesticides. It's they and them. They identify as they, them pronouns, and they're watching you, the eye in the sky of Horus. Right? Like, who's they? What are you talking about?
Ways to create new stories and drama and suspense, and while keeping it still sports based, you know, still create.
AEW is not sports based. Stabbing people with scissors in Minecraft is not sports based. There's no drama or suspense or excitement in AEW. That's the biggest problem. There's no suspense. It's like Scooby-Doo or Family Guy. 1 week, people get zip tied and bags over their heads, thrown into trunks, and are kidnapped. The next week, they're just at work and they're like, man, that was a rough weekend. That was a real rough night last week, huh? Dude, I got a tattoo. Dude, me too. What does mine say? Awesome. No, what does mine say? Dude, Yeah, dude, I know, but what does mine say? I forget the bit, but FTR gets bags put over their head and fucking duct taped, and then they just show up next week and they're like, boy, my booty hole's tired. You know, like, what the fuck happened? Like, what happened to them? Did we get any? How did they escape? Was there a call to police? They just sanction a match? Tony Khan isn't like, oh, well, you know, we called the police, and these guys, like, no, there's no suspense. There's no, like, means to any end. There's no nothing.
Being an alternative to what people have known for years.
He's just saying all the talking points, and I'll explain why. Because he doesn't believe in this shit. It's like if me, I just come here, like, you're a shill for the Fed. I would be here going like, oh, well, this Tuesday on NXT, right? It just wouldn't be real. The reason people flock to the show is because I'm spitting. I'm just shooting from the hip, man. And you don't have to be in the biz. You don't have to be fucking, what's your bump card at, man? You don't need to do that to fucking, and it just shows with this 6K views in a day. No one wants to hear this fake bullshit, bro. Be real. Yo, I'm getting a shitload of money. I do whatever the fuck I want. You don't even have to say it like the way I'm saying it, but like, just, you could just touch on those things and be like, I think this style of wrestling's better, or I'm having more fun. I felt like a little disrespected in WWE, and I feel like their fans are being disrespectful, so I'm going to disrespect them back. It is what it is, man. We're having fun on social media. I think I'm healing. Some people don't, whatever. But it's none of that. It's just like this bullshit generic Robetronic answer. Oh, yeah, everything's great, man. You might as well just say that. This is great, and this is great, and it's all great.